What the world? Oh, man!
SHW. This is our wrestling.
Unbelievable.
You think you could walk all over me, but I don't see that happening. We're warriors.
This crowd is going ballistic.
We told you anybody could show up here tonight.
The Lynch Mob are your first ever SHW Tag Team Champions.
You're kidding me.
And listen to this crowd. They're loving it. Joe Black is your Rumblejack 2020 winner.
Unbelievable.
This is insane.
You get a moonsault, and you get a moonsault, and you get a moonsault.
And now, the voices of Southern Honor Wrestling, Brandon Benefield and Gerard Bonner.
Hey everybody, welcome to another great edition of SHW. This is Our Wrestling. It's the official podcast of Southern Honor Wrestling, hosted by the voices of SHW. It's me, B-Double. It's my brother, GB Gerard Bonner. What's going on, buddy?
What's up, buddy? How are you, man?
I am doing great. You know what this means? It means that we are 1 week closer and now 1 week away from SHW21. And man, I can't wait.
A whopping 7 days away. And it's so funny because, again, you know, when we started the podcast, we were in a pandemic. We were unsure of when the next show would be. So we literally went 6 months without a show.
Right.
And so the idea of only 4 or 5 or maybe even 6 weeks passing between shows makes it feel like, oh my gosh, it's so fast. But this did really kind of come fast, and really it can't come fast enough. We love being with the SHW faithful, and next week is going to be a huge night. You don't want to miss it. It's going down again next Friday, and of course your tickets will be available at the door at the Action Building starting at 5 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, it's going to be great. 5 p.m. tickets go on sale. 7 p.m. doors open. 8 p.m. The bell time. And, of course, don't forget, we will be there doing a live Facebook pre-show for SHW21 from 7 p.m. to 7:30.
Yes.
So when you come into the building at 7 o'clock, you'll see us there doing our live pre-show. You can come do like they do on the like the Today Show in New York with the sign.
Oh, yeah. Hold your signs up.
Yeah, stand behind us and wave and, you know, make funny faces at us or whatever in the background. Do whatever you want. I don't care.
That'll be awesome.
Just don't jump the guardrail and try to attack us like, you know, like we've been interrupted before on the pre-show. I'm talking about Logan Chase. I'm looking at you.
Yeah.
And, you know, so you just never know what's going to happen. But we'll try to.
Speaking of Logan Chase, how about that interview we had last week with Jordan Kingsley? Geez.
Well, that was rather interesting. He had some thoughts.
Yeah.
That I was unaware about his all of his frustrations with the company. But and also speaking of honor, the Honor Society. Oh, don't tell Logan. I almost forgot the name. The Honor Society. Whew. We also found out. You know, we like we said last week, we found out about Kevin Ryan will be there. He's got a match. You know, we already knew about Jordan Kingsley's match. So speaking of these matches and speaking of SHW21, this week's show is all about previewing next week's SHW21. And to help us do that, we have a couple of special guests. One of them you've seen on our show before, our beautiful ring announcer, Diana Michel. And, of course, our very lovely backstage correspondent, Susie Quinn, will also be joining us here tonight. So we will be joined by them, and we will be going down the card and picking out who we think might win which match. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Of course, it's the first time for Susie Quinn on the show, so we're excited to talk to her, and I've got some questions for her, so that should be fun. It's always a blast when Diana Michel is here, so let's get it started, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right, guys, we're back with another fantastic show. SHW21 is a mere 7 days away. And as we are previewing what's going to happen, we've got 2 of our favorite people hanging out with us to help discuss it, predict everything, and just pontificate, if you will. So hanging out with us, of course, is our favorite ring announcer, Diana Michel.
Hey.
And we've got our backstage correspondent who has been in front of the camera and behind the camera recently. Susie Quinn is with us. Ladies, how are you?
Hi. It's so good to see y'all.
Yeah, it's good to see you guys.
It's good to see you guys as well. So, Susie, I got to start with you because I've been very concerned. First of all, how are you? This whole Ashton Starr situation has upset me, to say the least. I didn't like it when he put his hands on you back when we came back. I definitely didn't like it at Still Here Too. How are you feeling with all this right now?
You know, I've never gone through such a difficult friend breakup in my life. I've never dealt with such an aggression and an anger, and I genuinely don't know where it came from, and it really breaks my heart because I love Ashton, you know, and I just want him to come back to his senses and understand that this behavior is not okay. And I'm honestly scared of him, and I'm scared of how he's acting and what this is going to mean for him. And it's just completely out of his character, and I don't understand what's going on. So thank you so much for your concern. It's been very hard.
Of course, it's been hard to watch. And I remember prior to that title match that he had at the Rumble Jack, he said he wasn't sure what was going to happen if he lost the match. Is he really that obsessed with the SHW championship that it causes him to turn his back on everybody? Or is there something deeper that's going on with Ashton?
I feel like there's something deeper going on.
Okay.
I feel like him losing that title really did a number, and it's something more than just him losing his title. It has to do with his pride and how he wants to be the top and be the best. And I genuinely think he's going about it the wrong way. And I don't really understand where that's coming from. And I just, hope that he would win a title doing it the right way instead of doing it the way that he's doing, which is hurting the people that genuinely care about him and want what's best for him. So, yeah, I feel like there's something more.
One thing I'm really glad about, and I know B-Dub was as well, was that Vari Morales was there at Still Here Too. He jumped the guardrail. He came in to save you, and that could lead us to our first prediction as we talk about one of the matches that's going down at SHW21. Vari Morales against Ashton Starr. Susie, we'll start with you. I mean, I can almost guess who you might like to win this match, but what do you think will happen?
Though I do love Ashton and I do want what's best for him right now, he's not acting like a true friend. And because of that, I really want Valar Morales to win.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry for botching that name.
It's okay. It's all right.
I say very, so just say very.
Yeah. Very. I'm so sorry. That's why
you can read it. You can read it right there on Diana's shirt.
Yes. Vari. He was so wonderful last week. He came to my aid and he helped me. It was really hard watching Brian Pillman Jr. lose the match against Ashton. That really broke my heart, especially because it was with such good intention that he tried to win that match. And so I want Barry to do the same thing, and I want him to win this time. And I just hope that I hope it comes out for the best for all of us.
Yeah, I do too.
And
Diana, sorry.
Yeah, Diana, I was going to say, we can probably guess who you're at least rooting for. Who do you think's actually going to win?
Well, in that whole situation from the previous show to this past show, I mean, darling, my blood is boiling for you. And I'm not one to take junk off of anybody, but oh my God, I was in fight mode myself. And so when Barry came in and he was able to, get him off for you and everything, I think from my standpoint, I want Barry to win because Ashton needs to be snapped back into place. He needs the reality check, major reality check, and I think that's going to do it. Plus, I mean, the agility and the ability that Barry has, it's going to be hard to keep up with him. I mean, jumping all over the place like he does, I mean, I just don't know that Ashton can keep up with him.
GB,
Well,
what do you think?
for me, I think this is going to be an interesting match. Certainly, there are a lot of emotions involved. Ashton Starr is not the same guy who won the SHW championship earlier this
No.
year. He's not. What's scary about that is how aggressive he is. His aggression toward the fans, obviously towards Susie. He has had some choice words for me. He's just
Me?
not the same guy he used to be. And so that makes me wonder if he will put his hands on Susie, if he will abuse other people, how will he take this out on Vari? Now, the difference is Vari is fast. Vari is resilient. And he's got a lot of amazing things going for him. And I think he wants to make a splash in SHW as well. So I don't think this is going to be a cakewalk for Ashton at all. And I don't know that Ashton's going to win this. I really don't. I'm scared if he doesn't, though, because we see how losses flip his lid. So I don't know. I am definitely pulling for Vari on this one, though.
Yeah, I got to agree with you there. That's who I'm pulling for.
Mm-hmm.
However, if the question is who do I think will win, honestly, I think Ashton, because of his aggressiveness and because of this dark side that we've seen of him, I got to say, I think he's going to win this. Although I'm not necessarily rooting for him to win. We've talked about this before, GB. I mean, he used to come down to the ring. He was kind of one of our favorites. And
Yeah.
I know we're supposed to remain unbiased behind the booth, but
Yeah.
at the same time, we would get hyped when he would come out. That song would hit. He would let me wear the gold hat, and then he just turned his back on Party Planner, on Susie, on the fans, on us.
Yeah.
He's come after you on social media, GB,
Yeah.
and it's been crazy. So, we know he's an amazing athlete. He won the SHW title, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
So we know he is a top tier athlete. But with this aggressiveness added to that athleticism, I think he's probably going to take it. However, I'm kind of rooting for Very, and I know Very's quick. He's more of a high flyer. Maybe he can throw Ashton off his game a little bit. I don't know. We're going to find out, though, at SHW21 next week, and I can't wait. So that's Very Morales taking on the Prince of Petty, Ashton Starr. Let's move on down the list here. Let's see. Last week, GB, we had a gentleman on the show named Jordan Kingsley, who is one half of Not Yet Rated, also a member of the Honor Society. And he had a match last month against Chip Day with a special guest referee named Hold My Beer Hansen.
Hold my beer.
And we talked about this on the show with Jordan last week. The way that match ended was a little controversial, as Jordan's feet were on the ropes. Hansen apparently didn't see it. Kingsley's fired up because he feels like Hansen was a little inebriated during the match. Had one too many before he came out, which his name's Hold My Beer Hansen, so it makes sense.
Well, he didn't drink it out there. He did have somebody hold it for him.
True. But how many did he have prior to the match? We don't know.
Right.
All I'm saying, and GB, you brought this up on last week's show, that he actually did a great job refereeing up until the very end.
He did.
So, and he did. He botched that call. Like he missed it. We all saw it. He missed it. So Jordan was pretty fired up about it. He and Logan Chase put the boots to Hansen after the match. And, of course, that set up this match coming up at SHW21 next Friday. So we've got Jordan Kingsley versus Hold My Beer Hansen. Who wants to take the first stab at this one?
I'll go on this one.
All right, Diana, what do you think?
I know that, Hold My Beer he's gotten a lot of flack from his, coming in on you guys with your podcast and, crashing the party a little bit. And, he is a heck of a promoter of himself.
He is.
I mean, I like the guy. I think he's great. He's good for what we need, I guess, for around Georgia area. I don't know about, if anybody else up north would understand. I mean, I get it. I get him. He's like, to me, he looks like my cousin down the street, because he's just holds my beer. I mean, but I mean, he's going to be over. Like Gary said, he's over like Rover. He's going to be over no matter what the outcome is. He's going to be the one that everybody's going to want to win. That's probably going to fire Jordan and Logan up even more because they love to hate. But I'm probably going to go with Jordan on this one, though.
Okay.
Even though I like Hold My Beer.
Okay. Susie, what do we think?
Well, I've had my own issues with Logan Chase in the past.
Oh yeah, you have. Yeah.
Yes, he called me a barista, which was very mean.
Mhm.
And we still don't have a very great relationship. So what I would like is for Jordan Kingsley to lose, because I want Logan Chase to not get a win, because he just seems like a very mean manager and very vindictive. And he went after Gary Lamb last week, and I didn't like that either. But I do think that Jordan Kingsley will actually end up winning as well, because I think he was so upset about the match last week, and he did. It was a great match, and he had a hard fought loss, and it's unfortunate. And I think that he will take it out on Hold My Beer Hansen, even though he is also a wonderful wrestler. But I think Jordan Kingsley is going to take this.
All right. GB, what do we think?
You know, I have very strong opinions about Hold My Beer Hansen. But, you know, here's the scary part. The scary part is you cannot argue with the fact that the people love him. You cannot argue with the fact that this guy has a drive. I mean, let's think about this. We'll call a spade, right? We've been saying this for a long time. SHW is the #1 independent promotion in pro wrestling, period, right? This guy decided to do what no other wrestler has been brave enough to do, which is personally campaign to find his way into SHW. And I mean, think about it. He came in as a last-minute replacement at the Rumble Jack. He now ends up being a guest referee, and now he gets his first match at SHW. So here's the deal. Whether he wins or not, he's already won, right? He's accomplished getting onto the roster, which I think for him is a win. I don't see, if this is a technical match on paper, he loses 5 times over. The problem is Jordan Kingsley is too upset about this.
Yeah.
And because he's so upset, his emotions can get in the way. Hold My Beer Hansen only needs 3 seconds, right? He doesn't need a bunch of technical moves. He doesn't need a submission move. We have no clue what his moveset is. No idea. So this could be problematic for Jordan Kingsley. How do you study up on a guy like this, right? Like if his big move is cracking a beer and swigging it down, like what do you do with that, right? So I think Jordan Kingsley, if he's going to win this match, he has to have a very singular game plan, which is to do what he knows how to do. Don't try to
mid-level.
Yeah,
right.
I think he can't afford to take this match too long. Not that there's great endurance for Hold My Beer Hansen, but Hold My Beer Hansen is the kind of dude that will he reminds, I hate to say this, he reminds me of Toru Yano.
Okay.
In New Japan. Like he's the guy you don't take seriously, but if you're not careful, he will pin you.
Pick up on you.
Yeah. He can do that. And so Jordan Kingsley needs this win. Again, Hold My Beer Hansen doesn't need the win. He already won by getting on the card.
Right.
With that said, I don't want to say this. I don't want to.
Oh, my beer. I mean, every time you pop a top, it doesn't matter if it's a beer or soda, you're going to think,
This guy.
He's over.
It's true. You know what? He's over. But Jordan Kingsley, I'm going to give him the win. Because I just can't bring myself to say Hold My Beer. But the scary part is we might have to call that next week. And yeah.
And I better hear a lot of excitement in your voice, GB.
You're going to look for it, right?
Because it'll be his first victory at SHW, and he's going to want to play that back for his family. And, when he gets old, he's going to want to play back for his grandchildren. And it needs to be a great, very exciting call.
He can go back and play back the Rumble Jack when he eliminated Gunner, because I was shocked at that.
He already does. He already plays that back all the time.
He does. You're right.
That was a proud moment.
As he should.
As he should.
Yeah. So you mentioned not knowing his move set. I'm trying to remember who does the move, the deep six. Is that like Corbin? Who does the deep?
Baron Corbin? Yeah.
Baron Corbin does the deep six. Well, so Hansen does a similar move. He calls it the deep six pack.
Why does that not?
Of course he does.
I know it sounds like I'm a stand-up comedian and I'm making
of
jokes.
course
That's
he does.
true.
I'm sure you're serious.
That's a true thing, by the
Oh,
way.
my
So
gosh.
just so
I
we need to
believe
know that if he gives it to Jordan
I'm
Kingsley.
going to look for that move. I'm going to look for him to execute that. Yes.
But to that point, if he does give that to Jordan Kingsley, one thing we haven't said is he's a bigger guy.
Yeah.
He's a stronger guy. So that would have a severe impact, I think, on Jordan Kingsley.
So I'm actually going to give it to Hanson. I think Hanson, with all the fanfare, I think he's going to live up to the hype, and I think he's going to shock everybody. And here's the thing. I don't want to take anything away from Jordan Kingsley. We talked to him last week right here on the show, and we know he's been around since day one of SHW. You know, we talked about it last week. He had the very first match in SHW, the very first win in SHW against AC Mack. And he's no joke.
What?
Right.
I know.
Who?
Yeah. Very first show. He won.
did.
He beat AC Mack. He entered into the 5-way match to crown the inaugural SHW champion. He would go on to form the tag team Not Yet Rated. And of course, we saw how that played out. And he was up for the inaugural tag team titles. Of course, they came up short. But I'm telling you, the kid's awesome. And the thing is, and the reason I'm leaning towards Hanson here is because I don't think he ever needed to join up with the likes of Logan Chase. I think Jordan could have just kept doing what he was doing, and he would have made his way to the top. He would have found his way to the top on his own. But the fact that he's with Chase, what has Chase done for him at this point? He keeps saying Chase is lobbying for him for this and that. Well, he lobbied for him for a tag title shot, and how'd that turn out?
Well,
they did not. They didn't win. Yeah, but they didn't win. And, you know, it's just like, what has happened good for them since he joined Logan Chase? And I'll say it again. I say it every week. You know, Logan Chase is wearing a jacket that looks like my grandmother's couch. And, like, that's all he's got going for him at this point. You know what? And he's going to holler at me at the next show. I'm sure of it. But so be it. I'm going here's the thing. I think something's going to happen where Logan's going to try to help Jordan win, and it's going to backfire, and Hanson's going to end up coming out on top.
Maybe we could steal the cane beforehand so he doesn't want to that.
Yeah, because and we say it every time, like he doesn't walk with a limp or anything. He doesn't need a cane.
It's like a pimp cane or something. It's like, you know, you gotta just hold it. I don't know. The major, I have no idea.
Oh,
well,
man.
all right. So since we're on the topic of the Honor Society, somebody who we did see at Rumblejack but was not there last month was the other half of Not Yet Rated, Jordan Kingsley's tag team partner, Kevin Ryan.
Yeah.
He's going to be taking on Jordan's opponent from last month. He's going to be taking on Chip Day. So we got Kevin Ryan against Chip Day. GB, let's start with you. What do you think?
You know, this is going to be a great match. First of all, I think this has potential to steal the show. You're talking about Chip Day, a Georgia wrestling legend, 15 plus years in the business. He's pretty much done it all here in this area, against the first SHW champion. A guy who, well, if you guys heard the podcast last week, you know that Jordan Kingsley says he's a better wrestler than Kevin Ryan, which, to say that publicly, I don't know what we do with that.
By the way, real quick, let me just jump in here real quick. Ladies, if you recall, GB kept stirring the pot last week against when we were talking with Jordan Kingsley. He would preface everything he said by, "I'm not trying to stir the pot, but."
I love that saying.
He said it like 4 different times, and Kingsley kept going, "Well, you're stirring the pot." And so I think it actually might have been my fault when I wanted him to say whether or not he thought he was better than Kevin Ryan. And he did say it. You're right.
He said it. So I think that's got a light of fire under Kevin Ryan. I think there's been a lot that's been going on here in SHW without Kevin Ryan. So I think Kevin Ryan is really going to be ready to prove something. The problem, though, is, here's another thought. Chip Day is undefeated in SHW.
That's right.
And now he's beaten AC Mack. He's beaten Jordan Kingsley. I think he's going to add Kevin Ryan to that list. And I think Chip Day is going to start to move from what we've been seeing at the front of the card, as he's been starting the card off, which there's nothing wrong with the front of the card. Somebody's got to start the show.
You got to have a hype match.
But I think he is getting ready to start making moves for the SHW championship. He's too talented. He's got too much history behind him to not do that. I think Chip Day wins this match. It's not going to be an easy one for him, but I think he's going to show the world why he's Chip Day. So I've got Chip Day for the win.
All right. There's one for Chip Day. Susie, what do we think?
Kevin Ryan is a very talented wrestler. He's a high-flying guy, and he's a lot of fun to watch. And he's very talented. And like GB said, he was the first Southern Honor champion. I think there's nothing that's not anything to shake a stick at. Very impressive, especially for his age. But I feel like GB said, that Chip Day is on a roll, and he has been impressive every single match as well. And he is aggressive, and he knows how to win. And he has stamina that is like nothing else. And the fact that he beat AC Mack in his first match is really impressive, because AC Mack is such an impressive wrestler. And so I really feel like Chip Day is going to come out as the winner.
All right. There's two for Chip Day. Diana, what do we think?
Well, when I first saw Chip Day wrestle, of course, was the Rumblejack. And I remember we did the podcast before, and I was like, I don't know a whole lot about the guy. You know, I haven't seen him. And then I get all of his information, and when I announced him that night, there's like 1,000 names.
Right.
And
I said it was like as long as my arm, the list of
I mean,
accolades.
I told him, I said, I have to have 2 cards. There's no way I'm going to remember all this stuff.
Yeah.
So, but I say that to say this, his talent matches all the names that he has. So, I mean,
it does.
Yep.
He did win against Jordan last show at a botched call, but there's nothing in me that would think that he would not have won that either way.
Yeah.
That he would have come out on top, because the guy, he flips, that's a big guy, and he's got some agility as well. I mean, I'm like, holy crap, did he just do a backflip off the top rope?
Mm-hmm.
What in the world is going on? So I'm thinking, even though Kevin Ryan was the very first Southern Honor champion, like everyone said, he's awesome. And, you know, he's got his own bag of tricks and everything as well. But I'm going to go with Chip on this one, because I look forward to watching him. I do. Right. He's awesome. All right.
Well, there you go. We got 3 for Chip. You know what? Just to be different, I'm gonna say Kevin Ryan. But here's the thing, because I don't think both members of the Honor Society are going to walk away with losses from SHW21, and I already think Hanson's going to go over on Jordan Kingsley.
He's definitely going to go over.
Well, he's going to be over regardless. Yeah, you're exactly right. But with Kevin Ryan, you know, you've all mentioned it. But I think a lot of times the fans forget that he was the inaugural SHW champion. I mean, SHW, we just celebrated our 2-year anniversary. It seems like it's been so much longer, but it really only has been 2 years, and it's a short history. But I feel like a lot of fans do forget that, oh, yeah, Kevin Ryan was the inaugural champion. He held the belt for, I want to say, October, November, December, January, February, about 5 months, 4 or 5 months. So, you know, it wasn't just like a – no offense to Ashton, but it wasn't just like a quick Ashton Star reign where it was like one and done. Yeah.
You've named the reign the Ashton Star reign. Wow. Who's stirring the pot? Yeah, exactly.
Right. I'm bringing you both the spoon.
Here's the thing, though. I did not preface what I said with, I don't want to stir the pot.
No, you just said, I don't want to offend anybody, but it's an Ashton Star reign.
Yeah.
That's true. I said it wasn't an Ashton Star reign.
Right.
Yeah. Anyways. So Kevin Ryan is legit, is what I'm trying to say. And the fans, I feel like
Ashton's not.
Yeah.
I'm removing. No.
I don't mean to offend anybody, but
let me get my foot out of my mouth here. Hang on.
Yeah.
I tried to actually do my foot. I can't bring my foot up this high, so I was gonna do the whole thing. But anyways, what I meant was not talking about the Ashton thing. I was just saying the point I was trying to make was that Kevin is legit, and people forget that he actually had the title for several months. He was the first ever champion. Of course, we don't forget it. We've all said it. But the average fan, I feel like, they forget.
Right.
And so I think he still feels like he has a lot to prove, especially against somebody like Chip Day, whose accolades were, super, 2 cards long, whatever it was. But you also said that Chip Day has pretty much done it all.
Yeah.
However,
except
he has not won the SHW title, and in my opinion, that's one of the top titles in independent wrestling right there. So
absolutely.
Agreed.
So, yeah, It could go either way, but I'm just to be different, I'm going with Kevin Ryan. So
Well, I will throw this behind you just to back your claim for Kevin Ryan. Can you imagine being the first SHW champion and not being invited on the 2-year anniversary show?
That
I
had to
was,
hurt.
yeah, I was kind of shocked at that.
I would be low-key offended, and there'd be some chips on my shoulder. So
Well, I mean,
just
Logan Chase, made that point.
he did. He
yeah,
did.
and it was
He
a good
did.
point. So
It was a very good point.
all right, let's move on to what else do we have left? We talked about that one. Let's talk about a match that just got announced last week. Talking about a guy that's a legit 7-footer who made his debut at the Rumble Jack, but he also made his presence felt at Still Here Too when he got involved in the match between the former New Era brothers, David Ali and Owen Knight, and he actually appeared to have aligned himself with David Ali, and he actually attacked Owen Knight, and Owen ended up getting the win via disqualification. But we were all shocked. We were like, wait a second. So does this mean he's been saved by David Ali? Like, what's going on here? So I guess they've joined up, and now at this Friday, it's going to be Owen Knight, Austin Towers, the 7-footer. And I have yet to see. I know he's been all over the state, all over the Southeast, but I have yet to actually see him in a singles match myself. Of course, we saw him in the Rumble Jack, and this will be his singles match debut next Friday. So what do we think? Owen Knight definitely got his work cut out for him.
Yeah.
Diana, what do you think?
That's going to be a fight. I mean, Owen, I think he's still got a lot of emotion. Way back to your interview, GB, because he was hot about that, just like the rest of us were. But then when that happened last show, it caught everybody by surprise. I wasn't expecting that. I thought the guy was out. Somebody sent him out mistakenly. He was not supposed to be out there. And then all of that. Owen's a fighter. I mean, there's a reason why he was the working team captain, right? That was his nickname. That was who he was. Austin Towers, though, when you said he made his presence known when he got into the Rumble Jack, when he walked in the building, you could feel that presence. I mean, that's like a monster walking in. That's gonna be hard. I'm gonna cheer for Owen, but I don't see Austin falling to Owen. And I don't know that David's not gonna be there to help.
Yeah.
I was going to say, and we'll go around the horn here first, but we don't know what David Ali's status is. He's not booked in a match for the show, but you got to think that he'll probably be out there for that match, whether he's in the corner
almost guaranteed.
Or God forbid he sits down with us at the announce table.
Hopefully
don't put
that in the atmosphere. Don't do that.
Hopefully not.
No, he's not allowed. I'm not having it. I'm not letting him get near GB.
Thank you. What in the
right.
world?
Susie, sorry for bringing that up. Sorry for even putting it out there. I'm just saying you never know what he's going to do when he's out at ringside. I don't know. Susie, what do we think?
So Austin Towers is a very large man. I ran into him backstage, and I was about up to his kneecap, I swear.
I was going to say, did you you didn't headbutt, you kneecap headbutt?
No, it was, I had to go like this in order to look at him. It was comical, actually. But I really can't, Owen is wonderful. He, and the match against David Ali was great. I just don't see him winning against such a large man. It's just going to take a lot in order for him to get him down and to pin him. I also, just like Diana said, I think that David Ali is going to be an issue within this match. He's come out and interfered with matches in the past with Danny Jordan. And I think that he has such a vendetta against Owen Knight that he is going to find any way for Austin to end up winning this match. And he's going to claim that he's trying to save Owen, but in actuality, he's just really hurting himself and the new era and what it once was, which was a staple within Southern Honor. So I think it's going to end up going to Austin.
All right. Hey, GB, maybe you can help me think of this guy's name, but I'm picturing, if we ever had a picture of Susie with Austin Towers, it would kind of look like AJ Styles and his bodyguard, and whose name I
Jordan,
can't think
I
of.
think is his name.
Yeah, he's got this new bodyguard who's like literally twice as tall as AJ Styles. So I'm envisioning that's kind of what the dynamic was backstage when you ran in.
It was pretty comical. It was, I felt like a little child next to this giant man. It was like James and the giant man, or whatever that fairy tale is. Jack.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Jack.
I was thinking James and the Giant Peach, or Jack and the Beanstalk.
They're like, he's not a peach. He is a very large human man. So I got that mixed up. Yes.
That's all right. We figured it out. We got there. GB, what do we think?
You know, it has been widely touted that Owen Knight has been one of the more overlooked superstars in all of Georgia wrestling. And I'm going to do something that some might think is dangerous, but you'll get it. On a recent edition of Full Disclosure, a gentleman by the name of Stephen Platinum said that a lot of people have been reaching out to him about Owen Knight, saying Owen Knight was overlooked. And he used some colorful language to say, hey, if that's the case, then where's the promo and where's the match? Well, Mr. Platinum, I respectfully want to invite you to go and look at Still Here 2 and look at Owen Knight versus David Ali, or go look at the Rumble Jack and see why Owen Knight was the last man standing with Joe Black. There was a reason for that. Furthermore, I would invite you to show up next Friday at SHW21 and see with your own eyes why Owen Knight is what we say he is. He is a working team captain. And I think he's going to do something that people don't expect him to do. Austin Towers is amazing. I was impressed by seeing him inside the Rumble Jack. I am disappointed that he aligned himself with David Ali. He is a force to be reckoned with, but Owen Knight, if for nothing more than the Stephen Platinums of the world, he wants to show you all why he is who we all say he is. So I'm going with Owen Knight for the win. And again, Mr. Platinum, I respectfully invite you to come. A matter of fact, how about I get you a front row seat, Mr. Platinum, for SHW21 so you can see with your own eyes the greatness of Owen Knight. I said it. Fight me.
Well, there you go. All right.
Okay, Will Huckabee.
Yeah.
Can you whoop GB? Is that what we're all right. I'm not really sure where to go from there. See, this is why people kick you in the coffee beans, GB. You get them all.
But you know what? Here's my deal, right? And again, I respect Stephen Platinum. I respect all the critics. I really, really do. I think I tend to take up for our superstars because I see what they do. And, you know, for someone to be unfamiliar with them, familiarize yourself. It's not hard. And, you know, you want us to send you links and things? Maybe we could, but maybe you can come to the show and see what we've been talking about. And again, I say this all very respectfully. I have no issues with Stephen Platinum. I appreciate what he does. But I've seen the greatness of Owen Knight firsthand. And so that's why I'm willing to speak up for him and stand up for him. And someone will say, who's this Gerard Bonner guy? Trust me when I tell you, go watch Owen Knight. Come join us at SHW21 next week. I've got a front row seat just for you.
Sweet.
And you know what? That kind of brings me to it, because we do this on all of our shows anyway. We do a little plug here, a little plug-a-rooski. So let me just go ahead and put it out there. If you can't make it in person, you can see all of our shows on IWTV. So just sign up on independentwrestling.tv. Use the code SHW for 5 days free. And then you can binge watch every single SHW show. They're all there,
including the great Owen Night matches.
Sure can. There you go. So I take it you got Owen Knight in this match.
Yes, I'm taking Owen Knight in this
okay.
match.
Yeah, I figured as much. So, well, here's
for
the
multiple
thing.
reasons, but yes.
For multiple reasons. So I will be, of course, we remain unbiased behind the booth, but since we're not behind the booth while we do this podcast, I will say that I'm going to be rooting for Owen Knight. And I hope that David Ali doesn't come join us But I do feel like he probably will be at ringside.
That.
Sorry, it's like the Huckabee Beetlejuice
God.
thing. If I say it 3 times, it'll come true.
Exactly. So let's not go for a third time, please.
Sorry. But I feel like Ali will somehow get involved, and that will give the edge to Austin Towers. And so I'm going to pick Austin Towers in this match. However, I'm hoping Owen Knight can pull it off. So we'll see. We shall see. I feel like, let's see, we've got 2 title matches to talk about. But before we get to that one, we found out that Lethal Poison, Corey Hollis, and Judas will be in action, but we were not told who their opponents would be. So a while back, and I think the combination a while back, it was Brady Pierce and Judas were announced that they were going to have a match, and we didn't know who their opponents were going to be. And it turned out to be the Georgia Avengers. Right. And Lethal Poison took care of the Georgia Avengers probably less than 2 minutes, maybe less than 1 minute. It was a very quick match.
It was embarrassing. That was my first show, actually. That was in December.
It was. It was my first show behind the booth. I remember.
I had the opportunity to, stop them from coming down the ramp and ask, do you really think
that's right
yes against these guys? And they was like, whatever that spiff was they did was okay, bye, see you on the way out on the stretcher.
Exactly. So my point is, last time when we didn't know who the opponent was going to be, it turned out to be those guys.
Right.
This time we don't know who the opponent's going to be. Are we thinking it'll be another tag team similar to the Georgia Avengers? Or who else is on the SHW roster that it could be a tag team that we haven't seen in a while? I mean, what about Fear? What if it's Sunny Days and Logan Creed? I mean, I would love to see that match against Corey Hollis and Judas. I mean, who knows? But I'm just speculating here. Do we have any other thoughts on who it could be?
Is Logan done with Gunner, though?
It's a good question.
I mean, I would think Logan would be pretty ticked and ready for, some kind of revenge after being, in my opinion, embarrassed. I mean, Gunner's bad. I mean, he's bad. But to have Logan not even able to know where he was. He's been in a trash can all over the place. I mean, I was shocked. That was the outcome of the whole match. So I'm going to say maybe not Fear.
Yeah.
I don't think that's over.
Okay. All right.
But I don't know.
Wow.
Well, I'm just wondering if anybody had any ideas, because I have no clue who it's going to be.
I have no idea. Part of me almost wonders if it even matters, just because you've got to think that Corey Hollis is mad as fish grease. Like, nobody's heard anything from him.
Here's the thing. Even when he was the champion, the longest reigning champion, he was always angry. And
this is true.
So now that he's lost the title, if he was that angry while he had the title,
right?
Now that he's lost it, it's going to be at least twice that. So whoever he faces, I feel like is going to
good luck
be on the losing end.
But I'm interested. I'm interested to see how he comes out because it seems like now he doesn't have a title. He's gonna he's part of a tag team rather than just being like the leader of Lethal Poison.
Right.
How is he? He's gonna have to work to win, I guess. But I mean, it just seems like what stands out to me the most lately with him is he taps out a lot.
He does.
He taps out a lot, and I hate saying that because he is great, but he's tapped out a lot. So Michael Judas, he don't put up with that kind of stuff. It doesn't seem like. Well, so I don't know. Are they going to stay Lethal Poison? Is something going to happen? You just going to turn on Corey?
We've been questioning that for the last 2 months, and so far they're still together. So I don't know.
No, but Diana raises a point. She raises a point, and I don't mean to stir the pot. But here's a big question: can you even consider Corey Hollis as the leader of a two-man group?
Right. Especially with the other guy being Michael Judas.
Who happened to win at Still Here Too when Corey lost.
Yes.
And so if we're now in a tag team, we have to be equals. There's not a leader and a follower. So I don't know that Corey can even act as a leader right now. And so the potential turmoil in here could actually make it a good time for some surprise team to show up and
Right.
sneak a win and further put cracks in the foundation of what has been Lethal Poison. Because I still don't think everything is kosher, particularly after what we saw at Rumble Jack and then Still Here Too.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be Georgia Avengers come in, shock the world. They're going
Really?
to get the win. No,
We never stop talking about that if it was in Georgia Avengers. Are you kidding
who
me?
knows? I mean, I'm kidding. I say it in jest, but you never know. I mean,
Well, who would you want to be? I mean, who would you want to see come in? Anybody that stands out that you would just want?
That's a great question.
wow, that is a great.
I mean, I have personal favorites. I have,
Mhm.
I have Damage Inc. I love Damage Inc. from South Georgia, but
Okay.
I was watching a clip the other day of Mason Dixon Line, and I know they came in a few months ago and they were singles,
Yeah.
but together. And you know, I love the Rock and Roll Express.
Yeah.
I love them.
Yeah.
You know them. But they did a double drop kick like Ricky and Robert, and I was like, holy crap,
Wow.
we can get them back.
Wow.
I would, and they're huge. I mean,
They are.
it'd be kind of they're tall too, you know, and they're big guys. So to see Corey in the ring, you know, Corey's Corey
Yeah.
with Michael Judas.
Well,
and then
Dixon,
Mason
you know,
Dixon,
you know,
know,
Dixon's the one we talked about, beat Huckabee
Yeah.
right?
and shocked
Yeah.
everybody. And of course, Mason had that big Hoss match with Logan Creed where
Broke the ring.
they broke the rope. Yeah, the second rope. So that
Well,
would be awesome.
I would love
Who
to see them as a tag team because I think, I mean, their dynamic from what I've seen just from clips would be awesome. That would be great.
So I'm going to throw a couple of names out there. How about Shane Marks and Hankins?
Here's the thing. Can we just not give Hankins a microphone?
Let's not give him a mic, right?
Oh
But
gosh,
my
I
thought-
can't agree. I can't agree with the microphone thing because I love him on the mic. He is
Well, I mean, he is one of a kind.
yes.
But they showed up at the Rumble Jack, and nobody thought that they would be here for Rumble Jack. What a way to show up in SHW against one of the top tag teams. Can you imagine if they win that and then can now look towards the SHW tag team titles? And again, what would it look like for a team from a rival organization to come in and make a play for one of our championships? It's something that everybody would be talking about. It's a possibility.
That's
But does
true.
Hankins wrestle?
Well, Hankins would be on the mic. Who's Marks' tag team partner? Do you know, Diana?
I don't know, but
I mean, he has tagged with Braun Blaze. I don't know if they still tagging together, but he's tagged with Braun Blaze, and they were awesome.
Well, here's the thing too that I want to explain, Diana, is like Hankins. I know is money on the mic. Don't get me wrong. However, that night at the Rumble Jack, he would not shut up. And coming from our perspective, where we're trying to call commentary and call the match, call the Rumble
You
Jack,
couldn't. You couldn't get over him. He's got the gift of gab for sure.
we were both like, who gave this guy a microphone?
right.
He took my mic.
It was
He
like,
took mine.
what is it that Danny Jordan says from the movie Mean Girls? Like, they don't even go here.
Right.
Why is who
Right.
gave him the
Well,
mic?
have a mic.
Yeah. Anyway, so, but yeah, normally you're right. He's money on the mic, and yeah. So don't by me saying that, I don't think I disagree, but just that night in particular.
Yeah, I understand. But I love him.
Anyways, let's all right. So we don't know who the tag team's going to be that the Lethal Poison is facing. It could shock everybody. It could be another Georgia Avengers moment. We don't know, but there's one way to find out. Join us next Friday, SHW21.
Yeah.
We've got 2 big matches left, if my count is correct.
Mhm.
If I left anybody out, let me know. But I think we've got 2 more left. Speaking of tag teams, the SHW Tag Team Championship match, Matt and Joey Lynch taking on SHW newcomers, the Beautiful Bald Besties. And I'm going to let one of you guys go first because I got to be honest, I'm not super familiar with the Beautiful Bald Besties. So, Diana, what do you think?
Ooh, well, let's see. Okay. I honestly don't think Lynch Mob's gonna drop the titles, but I think it's gonna be a heck of a fight. Uh, Marvin, Zach, they've been at it together for a long time. So long, you almost can't tell them apart. Can you tell?
Wow.
Okay.
I mean, they're really, they mesh really well together, and I think it's gonna be fun to watch. For one, there's gonna be a lot of wrestling involved, and then there's gonna be I don't think there's gonna be a surprise. I think Lynch Mob is gonna win, but beautiful bald Bessies are definitely gonna make their mark on Southern Honor.
All right, Susie, you got a pick in this one?
Now, if it came down to tag team names, I think that beautiful blonde besties would win because
Bald.
that
Bald.
is by far my favorite thing. Beautiful bald besties, favorite thing I've ever heard.
They could have been blonde at one point. I don't know. They're both
blonde.
bald. They're both
Yes.
bald now. I don't know if they were blonde at one point. I don't know.
That was a misspeak on my part. Beautiful bald besties. Love that name. But I feel like the Lynch Mob is not going to drop the title to the beautiful beautiful bald blessed.
it's
It's a
tongue twister.
Beautiful bald besties. I
There you
don't
go.
think that they're gonna lose. I don't think that they're gonna lose to them. But like I said, great name. I can't wait to watch you guys wrestle.
All right, GB.
These guys are 6-year pros. Michael Stevens, Zach Edwards. Very interesting tag team, I would say. And what's even more interesting about this, back when the Lynch Mob won the tag team titles, we were all wondering who would be kind of top contenders for them in terms of tag teams. I don't think anyone anticipated that we would have teams coming from all over independent wrestling looking to get their hands on the SHW tag titles. It started, of course, with, we had our local team. I shouldn't call them local because they're not local, but you get what I mean. With Lethal Poison getting a shot at the titles at the Rumble Jack. But then from there, we had the Rock and Roll Express, of course. Now we've got these beautiful bald besties. I've got to think that after beating the Rock and Roll Express, Matt and Joey are on an all-time high.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like going one-on-one at this point with Michael Jordan and winning in a game of 21. Like, if you do that, challenge me, okay?
Right.
I'm going to beat you. I think the advantage that the beautiful bald besties have is that they're new to SHW, right? So there's going to have to be a lot of studying that Matt and Joey are going to do. And Matt and Joey are a little busy right now. One of them just had a baby, they're being family men, et cetera, et cetera. Will that come into play here? I don't know. I do think this, though, as we saw last month with Joe Black, when you get one shot, sometimes one shot's all you need.
All you take. Yeah.
When there's no guarantee for tomorrow and there's no guarantee that we'll get a shot next month and this is my only shot, maybe, just maybe. So I think the beautiful bald besties are going to make a strong impression on the SHW faithful. And I think they're going to take the tag team champions to the limit, but I've got to stick with Matt and Joey on this one. What a year they've had, pandemic and all. Let's put it to you this way. We mentioned that Will Huckabee hadn't won a match. Well, they haven't lost a match in 2020.
That's
and
right.
I think that streak's going to continue next Friday.
Even against the Hall of Famers.
Even against the Hall of Famers. Exactly.
By the way, can we just say real quick, now that we have Diana on the show with us, how cool of a moment that was, because we all know how big of a fan Diana is of the Rock and Roll Express, and to see your face just light up when you got to ring announce them.
Oh my God. I'll watch it. I still watch it like every other day. I'll turn it back on and I get chills all over again. I'll cry. I was telling my mom about it. I was crying. I was bawling. She was laughing and I was crying. I was like, you just don't know. She's, yes, I do. I remember Great American Bash. No Barbies. I'm like,
Yep. That was awesome. But so the tag team title match, I gotta say, like I said before, I'm not a huge. I don't know a lot about is it the beautiful blonde blessings? Was that
Beautiful.
Beautiful blonde blessing.
Blonde bestie.
Yes.
Besties.
Susie? Was that? Did I get it?
Yes,
See?
you're right. It was
Okay.
the
You're a troublemaker,
blah,
B
blah,
Dub. You're a troublemaker.
Stir in the pot.
Stir.
Ever since last week, and I'm not normally like this, but ever since you stirred the pot with Jordan last week,
I've
it's got me
stirred you,
all-
apparently.
Yeah, it's got me all fired up.
You're
Anyways,
both getting spoons. That's it. I'm telling
Yes. Yes.
anyways, so like you said, they're very experienced. GB, they've been around for a while, and Matt and Joey are going to have their work cut out for them. But I do not see them dropping the titles, especially to an outside team coming in. But you almost swayed me, GB, because you said just like Joe Black,
Mhm.
it only took that one shot. But
Yeah.
you know what, though? I got to stick with our boys, Matt and Joey Lynch. I think they're going to, because they have had such a great year, as crazy as 2020 has been, and for all the crap that's gone down in 2020,
Yeah.
one of the good things is that the Lynch Mob is undefeated, and they've won the titles. They
Yeah.
still have the titles. And I think after next Friday, SHW21, they will still have the titles.
Mhm.
So you
you.
mentioned Joe Black. Yes. You mentioned Joe Black. Let's get to our final match of the night, the big SHW championship match. It kind of surprised us all when we found out that Joe Black's first title defense was actually going to be against Gunnar Miller. Now, we knew Gunnar won the #1 contendership at last month's show, but we had been told it was for a future shot at the title. We weren't told it was going to be at the very next show. And so here we are coming up on SHW21, and that is going to be the match. Gunnar Miller, and Diana, you mentioned it earlier, that match he had against Logan Creed shocked everyone last month when, Logan Creed had to have been knocked out because we were like, he's got to have a concussion. Dude was walking around. He was confused. He didn't know where he was. It was crazy. And if I've never seen anybody do that to Logan Creed. I never thought anybody could do that to Logan Creed.
Right.
And if Gunnar Miller can do that to Logan Creed, what's he going to do to Joe Black? What's he going to do to win the SHW championship? Susie, who you got in this match?
Well, Brandon, like you said, it's very impressive that Gunnar Miller was able to take down Logan Creed. He is a powerful man, and he is very large. He one time picked me up like Simba, and
Oh, wow.
yeah, I was at my birthday party, and he just said, "Oh, hi, Susie," and then he just picked me up, and I was like, "This is the strongest man I've ever met in my life." I do think that even though that was an impressive win, I don't think that Joe Black is going to lose this title. He fought way too hard to get this title. He's worked way too hard in order to be where he's at right now, and there's no way that he's going to give that up at all. If I'm being honest, I feel like Joe Black is one of the most impressive wrestlers in Georgia.
Yeah.
I think that he is an incredible talent, and he needs to get more and more recognition for how incredible he is. So I'm a huge fan. With all of that being said, I think that Joe Black is going to come out and he's going to win this match.
All right.
One of the best promo guys ever. One of them. Like
Promo
whenever
king.
I do,
Promo king, yes.
yeah, whenever I do backstage interviews with him, it's like I'm in the presence of Shakespeare or something. He speaks so eloquently. I've never in my life met a person like that. So
It's true. So there's one for Joe Black. Now, Diana, before we go to you, Susie, I want to know, is there any pictures of the Simba thing?
no, unfortunately, I wish.
Man.
I wish it was comical. Truly, it was comical. Yeah, I was reminded of how tiny I was as soon as Logan Creed just picked me up. So
I was just going to say, I was hoping we could put it on our Instagram or something. But anyways.
no, I wish.
All right. It's a great memory, though, right? I'm glad you shared it. I'm glad you shared it with us. Diana, what do we think? This main event match, who you got?
I think Gunnar maybe expects to win. Just because he's Gunnar. He's got a great track record, and he's a beast. He is. But I really think that he expects to win. And I don't really know the relationship between him and Gary, but I'm going to pray Gary has nothing to do with a loss for Joe Black, especially as far as he's come and as hard as he's worked, like Susie said, to get where he is. This Joe Black championship era is nowhere near being over. I see this going on and on and on for a long time. I predict that he's going to be the longest reigning Southern Open champion. So I'm going with Joe.
All right. GB, what do we think?
This match has me twisted. I will admit, it's got me twisted. On one hand, you've got Joe Black. His march to the championship has been nothing short of special. We've all been along for the ride. You know, we can go back to last year's Rumble Jack and where things broke off with him and Huckabee, and you know the war he was in with Huckabee up through the top of the year. The dog collar match that has influenced pretty much every major promotion in pro wrestling right now.
Right.
You know, we've seen elements of it from everyone. To now being able to win the Rumble Jack, win the SHW championship. It's weird because I can't see either of them losing. So it's very weird for me. And Diana, you brought up one thing that makes me very concerned. The relationship between Gary Lamb and Gunnar Miller. Gary Lamb has been very public about the fact that he and Gunnar are great friends. They do podcasts together. And I was shocked at the end of the Gunnar Logan match to see Gary Lamb come out there when it's clear that Logan Creed has a concussion of some sort, and he gives him the finger and embraces Gunnar Miller. Yeah, that to me blew my mind, because I'm like, are we looking at the evil, maniacal Gary Lamb at this point? Which I don't think he's ever been described that way, though I'm sure there are people who have used some other colorful language for him. The question that happens now really is, can Gary Lamb not involve himself in a match that involves someone who is clearly close to him? That's the question. It's funny. This is a match that needs no great story. It needs no great buildup. It's two of the best wrestlers in the state. And here I again quote Stephen Platinum as he named Joe Black the #1 wrestler in the state of Georgia. And that's for a reason, because Joe Black is that guy. But Gunnar Miller was also on that top 10 list as well.
Right.
So this is going to be a really, really special time. I think Gunnar Miller came out of retirement for one reason, to be the SHW champion. So I don't know. I'm nervous. I will say this. Personally, I'm pulling for Joe Black to win this match and to retain the championship. He deserves a long title reign. The only thing I'm concerned about, obviously I'm concerned about what Gunnar can do in the ring. But if Gary Lamb finds a way to get involved, and it could happen a number of ways. It could be a referee. It could be, you know, some random.
I think it would be something, I think it would be like a behind the scenes kind of thing. So it wouldn't be known that he did something, but some kind of stipulation that's kind of underlying.
I mean, he could do, it could be a stipulation. He could come out and reverse a decision at the end of the match. Like, we forget that he's the general manager.
Right.
And as the general manager, he does have the final say. So I just hope that he can put to the side his affiliation with Gunnar Miller and allow this match to be determined in the ring. That's my hope.
It's going to be interesting. You know what would be really interesting? You mentioned referee. It could be something fishy with the referee. What if Hold My Beer Hansen, who has referee experience?
No.
But hear me out. He's got referee experience. No,
one
because
match does not give you.
He also eliminated Gunnar. I don't think that they would put him in the ring with Gunnar for the fear of his life.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Anyways, I'm just being silly. But
wait, though. What if Hold My Beer Hansen ends up on the take for Gary Lamb?
So you're saying the whole Rumblejack thing was a whole?
So I'm saying, what if Hold My Beer Hansen ends up interfering and costing Joe Black the championship just to be on the good side of Gary Lamb to ensure that he stays on the SHW roster?
I would hate to think that would even be a possibility. Really?
Stranger things have happened. Dan
I
Quayle was
agree.
vice president.
I agree.
Look, all I'm going to say, I was just being silly. However, I will just say this. This is professional wrestling, and anything can happen. You just never know, especially in SHW.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, I was being silly. Hanson's already going to have a match. I don't think he's going to get involved in the main event. If he does,
You never know what's going to happen.
never
That's the
know.
thing.
So anyway, so you got Joe Black, GB. Is that who you're going with?
I'm. It's hard.
It is. That's a tough one.
Really hard.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. You've got Gunnar Miller, 2017 Wrestler of the Year. Joe Black, Technical Wrestler of the Year last year. Had the feud of the year against Huckabee. Part of that feud is what led into his big title push to end up winning the Rumble Jack, winning the title last month. Both of these guys, like you said, Joe Black, Gunnar, both in that top 10. Joe's at the top of that top 10 right now, currently. And I said it earlier, like, this is a match that we're shocked is happening this soon. Like, we knew we were getting this match, but we didn't know it was going to be right now, like next week. We thought maybe in December, maybe to kick off the new year. Who knows?
Right.
But here it is. We're getting it now, and it's also crazy to think that at every SHW show, we always have not just one match, but usually multiple matches where we go, this could be a contender for match of the year. We said it already about the dog collar match from January. That was the very beginning of the year, and we thought, well, there's match of the year. And then every show we're like, well, I don't know, that might be match of the year. And of course, everybody online, social media has been talking about Gunnar, Joe Black. Oh, that's gonna be match of the year right there.
I have a prediction now.
Oh,
no, you finish. I have.
Well, here's the thing. I'm kind of in your shoes where I'm like so mixed on the thing. I think I'm going to give the edge to Joe Black just because he came so. Ladies, y'all said it too. Like, he's come such a long way, worked so hard to get this title. I don't see it just lasting 1 month with this title reign. So I think he's going to win the match somehow, some way. It's not going to be easy, but I think I'm going to give the edge to Joe Black.
My prediction: a time limit draw. For a couple of reasons. I think number one, I don't see I don't, they both have, you've got kind of the spear that they both use. Yeah. We saw a submission last month from Joe Black to win the title. Can you make Gunnar tap out? I don't know. Will the heart of Joe Black give out after a spear and a jackhammer? I don't know. I think it's a time limit draw that perhaps pushes us to something more in December, maybe a stipulations match, something that leads to maybe a 2 out of 3 falls. I'm so torn on this that I think we're going to get a classic, but I think it could be a time limit draw.
Well, here's my question, though. A lot of times you have, like, for title matches, like world title matches, you have like a 60-minute time limit.
Yeah.
Do you see the SHW title match going 60 minutes?
Here's why
I'm taking my shoes off if it does, man. I'm telling you.
The thing is, I don't see Joe Black submitting. I don't see him giving out.
Nope.
I don't. But he did get pinned earlier this year by AC Mack.
Yeah.
So
I still feel like maybe that had some effects on like the bad knee that he previously had. Like, I don't know.
That too, right? Like, I don't know if his knee is healed up yet, because that's been a struggle for him for the last 2 shows. I don't know. I still, in my heart, am pulling for Joe Black, but I got an uneasy feeling. I don't know.
Well,
it's going to be a good one, regardless.
It's going to be amazing.
For the books, and
it's going to be amazing.
Mr. Platinum's probably going to be talking about it. I promise.
He will be, and I hope I didn't put myself on his bad list. But I hope we're going to get him. I hope I didn't just damage us, guys. But actually, I think he'll probably find that to be having some gusto. But I do want him to come to the show, though. I really do.
Yeah, me too.
I really do.
Well, we are all going to find out together what is going to happen in all of these matches next Friday, SHW21, Friday the 13th. Don't forget.
Then there's that.
Oh, yeah. Anything can happen.
You just never know. yeah, it's SHW. You never know who's going to show up. You never know what's going to happen. But we know that it's going to be a blast. And this has been our preview show, our Pick'ems show, if you will. And ladies, Susie, Quinn, Diana, Michelle, thank you both so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us. It's always fun. Always fun with you.
Well, we look forward to seeing you in person once again next Friday for SHW21. We'll see you real soon.
I'll bring the spoons.
Stir it up. Boy, was that fun. Oh my gosh. I love when we get the family together, because that's what we are, right? You know, having Diana and Susie was absolutely amazing. Talking about SHW21, which is going to be epic. Of course, it's next week. I'm really looking forward to it.
It's going to be awesome. You know, we talked about it the whole show, so you already know the card. But just to reiterate, next Friday, SHW21, Friday the 13th. Tickets are going to go on sale at the door starting at 5 p.m. The doors open at 7 p.m., bell time at 8 p.m. And don't forget, we will, of course, be hosting this show live for the pre-show on Facebook Live from 7 to 7:30. So if you get into the building at 7, you can come by and say hi while we're doing the pre-show. Of course, if you can't make it at all and you're at home and you're on your couch, pull us up on your computer, pull us up on your phone, and check out the Facebook Live pre-show there. And it's going to be a blast. What a card. What a night it's going to be.
Stacked.
We cannot wait. But
absolutely.
We hope to see you there. And if you can't make it again, check us out online. And we will see you on this show once again next week, live, and every Friday moving forward.
That's it.
Because we keep having so much fun doing this show.
It's lovely. And I thank you guys for supporting what we're doing here at SHW, the podcast. This is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So then, we're going to get out of here, guys.
That's right. Follow us at SHW Pod on social media, by the way.
Absolutely.
And hey, until next week, this has been SHW.
This is our wrestling.
Boom.